Welcome to the channel on the surf. Here is the family, Sandra, Hector and Jack. My name is Jimmy and we are the family that lives on the surf. Yeah, so it's time to put some fairing on it. This is fiberglass fairing. It's basically shop strand matte and polyester pre-mixed. So it's just to add activator. And it's just to scoop up. And then just add some activator, mix it and put it on. Doesn't get much simpler than that. The hardest thing is to mix it. Yeah, so now it's time to trim out the edges and then start putting the final top coat on it. So make some nice lines just to have something to follow. Yeah, I use one of these to cut the fiberglass. It's really good. Doesn't throw dust around like a jigsaw or an angle grinder, and it cuts really nice and good. So let's just start cutting. It's loud. And now just give on the flat surfaces a quick sand down just to rough the surface up and sand away all the sharp edges. Then it's time to fix the drainage plug and put some top coat on it. And no, I'm not sponsored by Ryobi, but I probably should be, so if you know anyone, and yeah, look me up and we will make something happen. Yeah, this is the drain from the old sink. I'm just gonna reuse it because it's in good shape. So take the gasket away, locking nut away, put it upside down where I want it. Yeah, so glove up. Make sure you have a good ventilation when you do this. I'm in my boiler room with fire lit in the heater, so I can't have any better ventilation. It's a massive amount of air passing through this room. You don't need to get all, that super fine fiberglass dust away, because gel coat is basically polyester, so the small dust will act as filler. And yeah, this is not a structural piece. If it would be like a bulkhead in a boat or something, I would take a lot more thought about everything. This is just slapped together. Yeah, that's that. So when this, I'm gonna let this dry up, and then it's time to put some top coat on. And yeah, top coat is basically just gel coat, and then you add a bit of wax, because gel coat doesn't cure if it's contact with air. So normally you put gel coat first in a mold, then you put the fiberglass and polyester on it. That makes sure the gel coat doesn't come in contact with air, so it cures. But now we're doing it the opposite way, so we need to add some wax to the gel coat. The wax will float up to the surface, make a tiny layer, and make the gel coat cure. So let's mix it up. So we have gel coat, wax, and activator. It's the same activator as for the polyester. So max on and start mixing.
Start with the wax, so you can mix it in and really take your time mixing it in. You don't need especially much. And yeah, just mix in the activator. Something like that. So, let's start painting. And as you can see, I'm first just putting it on, and then long stroke all the ways to get as a flat surface as possible. So now it's just to let it cure. So now this needs to cure, the camera needs to charge, so I'm gonna go with the kids to football practice, then we will take it from there. So be back in a bit.
So there it is. I did one thing that I forgot to put on camera, but what I did, before the gel coat was totally cured, it was like a gel. I took the drain plug and then just pushed it into the semi-cured gel coat, pushed it down, put the nut back on the inside. So it's a really nice seal for the drain pipe. It's a perfect fit, and hopefully if I for any reason need to get it away, I will be able to. But there it is. One sink commode, or whatever you want to call it, finished. Now I just need to wait for the shower sink combo faucet and some other stuff until I can mount this in both. Yeah, moment of truth. See if it fits. Backa lite extra så jag kommer in.
Pappa!
Så, vi ställer den framme på scenen.
Kan du börja prata?
So, there it should be. Om du backar lite. Whoop. Yeah, there it is. I need to cut away some through holes and some edges. But basically, it is where it's supposed to be. Like that. Yes. It is where it's supposed to be. Just need to go 1 centimeter more into the wall, just to cut off this corner trim and so on. But yeah, it's in place, it fits, and it's correct size. So yeah, after that we're gonna make a corner like that somehow, and then put the toilet on. But
Kan jag få filma lite?
yeah. Yeah, now me and Hector is gonna start the next project. We are gonna take all this away so we can detach that wall and open up the floor, because behind there somewhere I'm gonna find space to put the new septic tank in. So let's take the boat apart some more. Nämen. Kan du sätta in den där bak?
Ja, jag filmar dig.
Filmar du mig sen? Så, filmar du mig när jag lägger tillbaka den då? Kan du akta
Jag
dig?
kan inte se dig där.
Now I'm just gonna remember how I screw this down.
Kom igen, pappa. Jag filmar dig härifrån.
Yeah, we can, yeah.
Jag filmar.
Hector is the cameraman. I think that was the last one. Hopefully.
Pappa, du är fantastisk. Men pappa, kan inte jag få ha den där i mitt rum?
Hemma?
Mm.
Nej, den bor ju i båten.
Ja,
Vi ska
men...
sätta in den i båten sen igen.
Men pappa?
Yeah, so now it's just to take down this wall. Hopefully that's gonna be easy work, but who knows? Yeah, there are a lot of screws all the way around, so I got the first one out. So see you in a bit when I've taken all of them out. Yeah, now all the screws are taken out. Hopefully I can get this down without disconnecting the wires. So fingers crossed. far so good. Yeah, this is the septic tank that was behind that plywood board in the head.
Du kan också säga cave.
Let's see if it fits here.
Kan du också säga cave någon gång?
Take one.
Säg cave. Cave is perfect, right?
Yeah, it fits. So, yeah, we found space, a lot more of it. So yeah, I'm real happy. I wonder... No, I'm not gonna mess with that. I need to check if it was laying down or standing up. I don't remember, but doesn't matter. I'm happy, it fits. It's about at the same height, even a bit lower than it was before, so perfect. Yeah, so I've been thinking and measuring and yeah, trying to find some good solution, because this holding tank or septic tank is about 40 liters. Let's see, it's 50 by 40 by 20. Times 40 times 20, that's exactly 40 liters, and I want to have much more, so I'm actually gonna do one more tank and put in 2 in series, at least I think so. I'm gonna do that, so I'm gonna make one more that's a bit that's gonna fit here. 60 65 times 65 times 25 deep and 30 centimeters high. So 65 long, 25 deep and 30 high. So let's see, 65 times 25 times 30, that's 48, almost 49 liters. So I'm gonna have 89 liters of septic tank holding, and that's gonna be really good. So let's go home, make a mold, and that's 65, 25, 30. And I'm gonna do that in epoxy. Yeah, let's do it. And it's a good thing that we opened this, because the cable ties are busted to the water tank, so maybe I found one more water leak. So let's pack this stuff up and go home. Yeah, now you have seen me do 2 different projects, one in polyester and one in epoxy. So when do you use which? Sorry for my voice. So first, some pros and cons on each. Polyester, it's really cheap. 98% of all the plastic boats in the world are made from this. You can use polyester both with these woven kind of fiberglass and these shop strands. Polyester isn't 100% waterproof, or I don't know the fancy word for it, but you can't make, like for example, a septic tank with polyester. It will contain the water inside, but the smell will come out. Epoxy, a lot stronger than polyester. I don't know exactly how much stronger. The biggest pro on epoxy compared to polyester is that this is 100% both water and air tight. So if you make, for example, a septic tank in epoxy, it will contain the water, it will contain all the smells and everything inside the tank. Downside with epoxy is that you can't use shop strands, because it's just fiberglass strands that's basically glued together. The styrene in polyester dissolve that glue and make it shape out. The shop strand is a little bit weaker than this woven one, but the normal is that the shop strand is twice as thick as the woven one, so you need a lot more layers. Like you saw when I did the tank, I used 10 layers of this woven, and it turned out maybe 3 millimeters thick. The flanges to the stainless steel inspection hatch, it's 20 layers, and I just measured it roughly with and it turned out like 5 millimeters. 20 layers, that's a lot. It's much easier to get the air out from the woven one, because it's basically in all the crosses there is a small there are a small hole, so the air will come out very easy. Downside with the woven one is it's hard to shape. So if you have like some sharp corners, or you shouldn't have any sharp corners when you do fiberglass, but sharper. Like this corner here on this TV, really hard to bend this, since the shop strands is made out of loose glass fiber that's glued together. Put the shop strand on, pour some polyester on it, wait a couple of seconds, the styrene dissolves the glue, and it's really easy to shape. Harder to get the air out though. But then you have my favorite, it should be here in between. It's called vinylester. It's basically a cross between these two. So why aren't everyone using epoxy for everything if it's so much better? If you go on forums and stuff like that and ask some question about how to fix your boat or patch a hole or something, you will see a lot of people just say use epoxy, it sticks, it makes it perfect, and yes it does, but the downside is epoxy sticks on basically everything. Almost nothing sticks to epoxy. So if you do a repair on epoxy, there is a saying, if you ever go epoxy you can never return, because if let's say you patch a hole or a crack or something with epoxy, yeah, it will be good, it will work. But a couple of years later you have a crack next to it or something. If you use polyester or vinylester, it won't stick. So stay away from epoxy if you can. The boat is most likely built out of polyester or vinylester. Most likely polyester. So why don't you just continue with polyester? And my favorite, the vinylester, I don't have any at home, and I always have polyester at home. Sometimes I have epoxy on the shelf. That's due to the shelf life. Both of these have a shelf life of around half a year if you store it correctly. Vinylester, it has a shelf life for about 4 months. You can I've never found vinylester in small containers. The smallest one I found is 25 kilos, so I use that for big projects. I've used polyester for, you know, not structural stuff like repairing a hole or glassing in a through hole underneath the waterline with polyester much older than 6 months. Vinylester goes bad after about 4 months, even if you don't break the container. That's why it's hard to get, not sold in so many places and so on, because it is just like that. If I could choose, I will do everything in vinylester, but it's not practical. And let's talk some prices. If I go online, order polyester in bulk, you can get a 25 kilograms container for about a little over 2,000. And the same container, all these prices are from the same seller and the same brand, so can't get any closer comparison. So 25 kilos of polyester, that's a little bit over 2,000. 25 kilos of vinylester, it's 4,400 about. And epoxy, strange number, but 7.75 kilos for 3,000. So let's do some comparison number. That means the polyester is 91 a kilo, the vinylester is 175 a kilo, and epoxy is about 370 a kilo. That means vinylester is about twice as expensive as polyester, and epoxy is about 4 times as expensive as polyester, and about twice the price to vinylester. So let's say I have a big project, I want to order some resin for about 5,000 kronors. I will get 55 kilos of this polyester, and I will get about 29 kilos of vinylester and about 13 kilos of epoxy. It's a really long way from 55 down to 13. So if you're just making something small, if you spend 100 or 300 or 400, maybe doesn't matter, but if you're gonna build like a small dinghy or something, epoxy is a lot stronger and a lot better in many ways. I have never been able to motivate myself to buy a lot of epoxy, And there is also a big weakness with epoxy. Since it's a lot stronger, it's also a lot harder, and that means it's a lot more fragile, like polyester. Maybe I will do it in sometime in the future. Let's say you take 2 layers of this, same size, and laminate them with polyester, and the same with epoxy. The polyester you will be able to bend without it breaking, to some extent of course, but the epoxy, it will be a lot harder to bend, and at a certain point it will just break. So there is a lot of faults. So all these 3 products are really great, but they have their speciality. So if you just want to build something, do it in polyester, is my recommendation. If you want something better, let's say you will make a water tank or something, vinylester, I would have been building in that. And if you want to build, let's say for in this example, a septic tank, that's 100% certainty won't let out any bad smells in the boat or any other nastiness, epoxy. I will never repair a polyester boat with anything else other than polyester or vinylester, because if I ever use epoxy on the boat, I will just throw away all polyester and vinylester in the future, because I can't guarantee that it will stick. It's the same concept as silicone. Go to and talk to a guy that works with a professional that works with painting cars, and ask him what he thinks of silicone. It's the same here. Vinylester and polyester you can mix, not mix, but they will stick on each other, so no problem there. But epoxy sticks on everything, but neither polyester or vinylester will stick to it. If you want to do something fancy like Kevlar or carbon fiber or stuff like that, there is basically just vinylester or epoxy, because polyester change color if it comes into contact with UV light. Vinylester a bit better, but you have to check, but most of the epoxy resins are color shading neutral, so it won't change colors. So if you're gonna do anything clear, epoxy. It's not hard to work with fiberglass or GRP for the big, if you're gonna use the name that covers all of it. And yeah, there are also, if we talk just the fiberglass, there are a couple of different ones out there, different thickness, like a shop strand. This is 450 grams per square meter. This is 200, I think it was, 200 grams a square meter. There are also a combination biaxial, something. That's basically 2 layers of this woven one, but the next layer is the strands going diagonal, there is also a combo mat that there is a lot of different and combinations on this. So, but basically you have these two, shop strand or the woven one, and then you have the double layer woven one with 45-degree diagonal, and you have one model that's a combination of woven, then one layer of shop strand, then one more layer of woven, and most likely they are diagonal, and there are some different combos and stuff like that, but basically there are these two types. So that's it. It's real easy to work with fiberglass. The name that cover all of it is GRP, glass reinforced plastic. You don't need any special tools. You need a scissor and some brushes, rollers, basically your normal painting stuff. So just get to it. And if you have any questions or you need me to clarify something, just write a comment below and I will try and do that. So yeah, we have made a new sink for the head in the boat. We have made a septic tank for the head in the boat, and there is a lot more glassing to do in the head because it's because the old layout was a lot of wood. Now I'm gonna make it a little bit more moist resistant, so there is gonna be a lot of plastic work inside and some special paints and stuff like that. So that's that for this episode. This episode is long enough, so next episode is probably gonna be me finishing, or at least getting close to finishing, the new head in the boat. I will try and leave links to this stuff down below, and the Amazon links is affiliate links. They don't affect the price in any way. It just give me some kickback, so it's helped me, just gives me a little bit for my troubles making all these videos. So please use those links. It's the same price if you use those links or if you go on Amazon yourselves. It will just help me a bit, and I will never put a link down there to a product that I am not happy with. So there is also a PayPal account if you want to support that way, also an Amazon wishlist, and if you want more easier access to me, able to discuss and talk to me, and access to a lot more content, a lot more videos, there is also an Patreon account. So that's that for today. See you next time. Like and subscribe.